Welcome back. It is yours truly, Nick, a movie AV Impulse, with a top five that, well, let's not call this a top five. These are just five more suggestions that I have to really show off your new Dolby Atmos either soundbar, which, speaking of soundbars, I know I say that I'm not a big fan of soundbars, especially when it comes to the Dolby Atmos, but Caleb just dropped a fantastic review on the Dragon, and man, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to have that for a surround sound, but man, is that thing pricey, and it's limited to, I believe, 500. But I'm gonna put that link right here to Digital Trends channel. Caleb just did a fantastic job giving an honest review on this, and he's one of the first people that I know got a hold of this soundbar. If you can, Caleb, swing by the house and we'll just put that in my living room and we'll check it out to watch a couple of movies. I'm just playing, but I will tag his channel down below if you don't know who Caleb is, or Digital Trends, which I'm pretty sure you do. My top 5 Dolby Atmos videos, one of my most successful videos, whether people agreed with my picks or not. I'm going to bring you part 2 because I watched these movies again recently and I was just like, wow, this would be a really good experience for just the average person. I also want to bring you a part 3 with a special guest. I am in the works with him right now. And a part 4 with somebody who I'm waiting on a response from that does a lot of streaming, but is also a reviewer. He does a lot of streaming when he reviews stereo equipment in TVs, and he does do a lot of Dolby Atmos because he's got the perfect setup that I wish I had. But my setup I do love. I run a 5.1.2. And for those who don't know, that means 2 speakers in the ceiling, 2 in the back, 2 in the front for towers, a center speaker, and a subwoofer. So when it comes to Dolby Atmos, I absolutely love that. I think that is the best surround sound format that we have right now. But before I get into those 5 that I picked out for you to enjoy, let's get into the intro. So I'm going to start with the 2 weakest links. Now, while I like these movies, a lot of people don't like these 2 movies, but that's totally fine. These are 2 of my guilty pleasures out of the hundreds that I have. And I would love to say that this is a great Will Smith movie, but a lot of people disagree with it because of the CGI. But, well, I will tell you the Dolby Atmos is fantastic on this 4K release, and I love the frame rates that this was recorded at. Number 5 is going to be Gemini Man. I know, I want to hear the criticism. Oh, that movie sucked. I hated it. Blah, 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 blah.
Get out. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Get out! Yo! Yo, chill, man. Get out! Chill, man.
But as far as the Dolby Atmos, if you really want to wow the crowd with your new soundbar or your new setup, regardless of what it is, from the lowest budget to the highest budget, Dolby Atmos all works the same. And for real, give this one another shot. It is really a good movie. Coming in at number 4 was actually suggested on my last video that I did, Top 5 Dolby Atmos. And I can't remember who suggested it, but I will go find that comment and I will put a little screenshot of it. But I rewatched this and I was like, well, let me see what the Dolby Atmos is all about. While this is another movie that people hated, I actually didn't mind it. Is it compared to the original? No. I mean, it's just a different take. And me growing up in the 90s, I'm an 80s baby, grew up in the 90s. I still think the original is better, but that's going to be Power Rangers. I love the Dolby Atmos on this movie. It is a wow factor, especially when it comes to certain scenes, especially Rita first making her introduction, when she's starting to attack everything. Things are just happening up top on those ceiling speakers that you won't believe. And it is just really a great experience. I highly suggest, again, with, like I said, with Gemini Man, give it another shot. Kind of open your mind up and don't think about the old school Power Rangers that we grew up with. Just think about the movie itself, because sometimes you'll find when you watch a movie a couple years later, that's why I hold on to a lot of my physical media collection, you actually end up liking it. And if you watch it 2 or 3 times and you don't like it, then just give it away or something. But this is definitely staying in my collection, especially if I want to show off that Dolby Atmos experience. All right, coming in at number 3. Now, this movie I didn't watch for a while. I owned it. I picked it up at a really good price. I couldn't really, for $7, I really couldn't pass it up. And that was brand new, sealed. Got the digital copy with it, and the cinematography on this movie is great. Now, while the Dolby Atmos isn't always constant, when it does come in and kick in, it will wow you to a really good war experience, and that's going to be 1917. This movie, the cinematography, I just can't explain it. It is beautifully done. I absolutely love the way that the camera follows these characters, and it's just a great little war movie. And there's that one scene where the plane is coming down and it crashes. Oh my god, the sound of it, you hear it coming before you actually see it. And those ceiling speakers just really take notice and just take the presence. And then when it crashes into it, man, your subwoofer has a field day with it. So if you haven't seen this one, if you haven't picked it up, I'm sure you could find it for a great price now. It's just a great experience. You gotta check this one out. Now, coming in at number 2, this is another war movie, but the Dolby Atmos on this is absolutely mind-blowing. This one, as far as a war movie goes, this is probably one of my favorites so far that I've watched. I just recently watched this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was absolutely in love with it. I don't know why I took so long to watch this, but the experience of the Dolby Atmos was just wow. I mean, really wowed. I was blown away, and these speakers are active. Those ceiling speakers are active for a long time throughout this movie. So that's going to be Midway. Midway was just, when they're taking off, when they are in the air, when they are doing all these acrobatics, I mean everything. This will just blow your mind and really show off that Dolby Atmos experience. Like I said, I am going to work on a part 3 and a part 4 with 2 special guests. So get ready for that one, because my number 1 pick, you might not see coming. Last but not least, I had only owned this one on DVD, and I got this again at a really good price, and I couldn't refuse the price. When me and my wife watched this again, we were just like, holy shit. I mean, especially when the aliens start invading and the thunderbolts come crashing down on the ground. Man, the experience that you will have in the subwoofer will rattle your entire household. This by far is just one of the mind-blowing ones that I absolutely love, and that's going to be War of the Worlds. Now, I know a lot of people like the original. I happen to like this one a lot better than the original. Go ahead, crucify me in the comments, but that's just my personal opinion. You can have yours. But when it comes to the Dolby Atmos on this, every single second is intense, And especially, like I said, that thunderbolt part where, you know, the thunderbolts are crashing down. There's just stuff happening all around. The alien ships are coming from the clouds. Everything, you just get the experience. And then even when you are in the basement with Tim, in the basement with them where they take shelter, when the aliens are crawling around in there and they're dropping stuff off the shelves and everything, you'll hear it in the ceiling speakers and the back speakers in the front. They just did such a great job on this Dolby Atmos that it will blow your mind. So there are 5 suggestions for, you know, an audience of people, you know, whether it's a guilty pleasure watch like the first 2 that I mentioned, or just 2 great war movies like the ones I mentioned, or just a great alien takeover movie. These ones will definitely rock your house, rock the crowd, and put a big old smile on your face, and you will make you appreciate the fact that you invested in a surround sound system that is going to bring you joy for years to come. Anyways, I hope you like the suggestions, and I will see you on the next one.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.